All right, hey guys. So this is now my third attempt to make this video. Um, I think I got it now. So this is probably going to be my last video. You know, I've been trading now for 2 years. I feel like this video is going to be the final chapter of my how can I put it? So I created this. I started documenting my journey. Right, the purpose of me making these videos was for me to document my journey, so I can look back at this and kind of see my growth over time. And I've gotten to a point where I'm a consistent trader now. I am a profitable, consistent trader. And so the learning obviously never stops, but I have a strategy. And so now that I have a strategy that works, that's consistent, that's profitable, right? I'm going to a new chapter, right? You know, I've gotten past that initial hump of trading, right? And so now I'm moving on to the next thing, and I don't know if I really want to document, you know, the next level of my trading. But I hope that, you know, maybe that this will be helpful to someone who might come across this, or you know, I just use this to share this with people that who are learning how to trade or want to learn how to trade. All I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna go on any charts or anything. I'm actually in the car. I'm just gonna share my strategy, what changed mine, because for 2 years almost, right, I was not a profitable trader. I was not consistent, lost a lot of money, just like everybody, right? Did all the wrong things until I finally figured out what I was doing wrong and then fixed it, right? It's one thing to see what you're doing wrong, but it's another thing to actually be mindful enough to fix it, to solve the problem, to stop doing it, to change your habits. And that's what I'm going to start with. So the first thing I did was I stopped counter trend trading. And I'm not saying that you can't trade, like if the trend is up, that doesn't mean you can't take a sell. What I mean is that what I would do, and what I would do was that I would see price at a higher high, or reaching a higher high, or kind of maybe going to a higher high, testing a higher high, and I would be like, oh, it has to reverse, right? And most of the time I missed the move, right? Wake up in the morning over London and maybe early New York, and it moved, right? And I missed it, and then now it's at the top, and I'm like, oh wow, well, it has to reverse, right? I mean, I know that it does have to reverse, but not at that moment, right? Oh, it can't keep going up, right? These are the things that, you know, I would say to myself, and these are the things that would cause me to lose consistently. So when I stopped counter trend trading, when I stopped taking trades like I just described, my training just from that alone made a U-turn. So always trade with the trend. Like, don't counter trend trade. I'm not saying you can't take a sell if the trend is up. I'm saying don't do what I described, right? You're at the top, you miss a move, it's at the top of the top, it's like making a higher high, and you're telling yourself, oh, it can't go higher. Like, don't ever make that kind of assumption. I made this assumption all the time, and pretty much every time I would lose. I take the sell, oh, it has to go down. It might go down a little bit. I don't take profit. Next thing you know, it reverses. It's going back in the direction of the trend. Sometimes it may, you know, retrace, but 9 times out of 10, I lost the trade. So that was one thing, major thing. I stopped counter trend trading, changed my trading. That's number 1. Number 2, don't try to predict where price is going to go. Like, don't try to do that. Like, okay, if the price is made a higher high and it's retracing, and you know, you think it's gonna, you know, go to the next whatever, like the next level, whatever it is, wherever, like you're probably using some type of zone or level or something like that, right? But don't try to predict where price is going to go. Like, that's all I can say, is don't try to predict where price is going to go, right? Put your trades in places where price has been before. Like, that's what I do. I put my trades in places where price has been before and is most likely going to come back to, right? So I'm not going to pull up charts. I'm not going to I don't actually can't pull up a chart right now, but I take a more high, I take a higher probability trade that way. So instead of let's say it's at a higher high, it's at a higher high and it hasn't retraced yet, right? And maybe it's consolidating or something, and you're like, oh, it's gonna go up, and then now you place a buy thinking it's gonna go up, and then it retraces, or I'm just giving you a small example of something that could happen, right? But my point is that don't try to predict where the market's going to go. You're better off putting your trades in places where the market has already been. And then that's all I can really say. I'll just leave it at that. It's kind of a nugget. And you can, go and, kind of look at the charts and see if you can figure out what I mean by that. So, but that's another thing, was that I basically stopped trying to predict where price would go, because I would try to predict, oh, it's going to come down here or it's going to come down there. I would put trades in, let's say like at night, I would look at the market, look at the charts, and say, oh yeah, price is going to come up here. So I place a buy with a stop loss. Wake up in the morning, didn't go up, or maybe went up a little, retraced, went the other way, etc., right? And a lot of times too, I was going against the trade. The trend. Oh, it has to reverse here. I'm gonna put a sell stop loss up here above this higher high. Wake up in the morning, of course it went higher, right? So anyway, don't try to predict where the market's going to go. You have a better opportunity. It's more. You have a higher probability of winning a trade if you put your trades in places that the market has been before and is most likely to come back to. So plan your trades and trade your plan. So basically, trust your analysis. So plan your trades. So look at the market, look where you want to buy or sell, put your trades in that area, and wait for it to get there. And when it does get there, let it play out. Like let your trades play out. I had that happen to me today. I took profit early on I'm still working on this. This is probably the biggest thing that I'm working on right now, is this part of psychology, is waiting and being patient and trusting my analysis. I'm going to run out of time here, so I'm just going to tell you, but plan your trades and trade your plan. Like, that's super important. Like, let it play out, because most of the time you're right. Like a lot of times you're like, oh, you get out of a trade, or you take profit, or you take a loss early and it goes your way, right? And then you're kicking yourself because it went your way, but because you didn't have the patience to wait for it. So, do something else, whatever you got to do to take your mind, to get away from the charts, take your mind off the charts so you can let your trade play out. Do that, and then manage your risk. So when you put your trades in, this basically comes down to your lot sizes. Make sure your lot sizes are correct. Like, do not use lot sizes that are not for your account size, right? If you have a $1,000 account, for example, right, you don't trade with one lot. Trade with lot sizes that aren't gonna blow your account, or if you're using the funded account, aren't gonna blow your drawdown, daily drawdown, max drawdown, whatever. I only have a minute left, so I'm gonna just go through these two quickly. The other thing is, don't overtrade, right? Don't overtrade. That's it. There's nothing else really to say. Don't overtrade. Plan your trades, trade your plan, right? You shouldn't be making like 10 trades. I mean, I shouldn't say that. You can trade however you want to trade, whatever works for you, right? But I'm saying don't overtrade, right? That's all I can say. And honestly, this is what has worked for me. So for me, I used to overtrade a lot. I look sometimes, and it'll be a ridiculous amount of trades in a day, and it's like, dude, why did you trade so much? Like, if you just would have made these 2 trades, you would have accomplished, probably you would have done better than what you did trading 10 times, 12 times, whatever it is, right? And the last thing I'll say is, as I stayed on the 4-hour chart, so I don't look at the daily, I don't look at the weekly, I don't look at the hourly, the 15, nothing. I just stay on the 4-hour chart. Everything I do is on the 4-hour chart. Now, I'd be lying if I said that I don't sometimes drop down to the 1 hour. So sometimes I'll get curious, I'll drop down to the 1 hour, but I'm talking about for like 10, 15 seconds. Like, very quickly, I'll look at the 1 hour and kind of just like glance at it and then get off. Like, I don't make any decisions, I don't make any trades, I don't do anything except on the 4 hour. Everything is based off the 4 hour. Like, I don't look at anything else. I can't say I don't look at anything else. I try not to look at anything else. If I do look at something, usually it's the 1 hour, and it's literally very quickly, like 10-15 seconds, and then I tell myself to get off and go back to the 4 hour. So anyway, that's my update. I don't know if I will ever have another video again or not. I have no idea, but that's where I'm at. You know, I hope all is well with anyone who sees this. I'm still trading. I will never stop trading. I'll be trading for the rest of my life. So I hope you guys are doing well, and take care.